Hi everyone, guess who's back? Only the 4 boys. I now have them back, and that's because I went and rescued them about 2 days ago. This is because something kind of bad happened to them. The woman that I had given them to, I might have mentioned before in another video that she was like partially disabled, and she also had like epilepsy and learning difficulties. What I thought was going to be like an amazing home for them actually turned out to not be such a good home, and I feel so guilty. So anyway, I decided to ask for them back because I was really worried from like the messages I was getting from her that she couldn't take care of them properly. So I basically went and got them back from her because she agreed to give them away if I like covered the cost of some things she bought for them. So they're back with me now. Basically what had happened is that she couldn't cope with cleaning their tanks out. So their tanks had been dirty since I gave them away, which was the middle of October, till just last week, or like a few days ago, when she finally decided that she would clean them. I was basically getting lied to by her, so she was just telling me like a load of stories, and I didn't really know what to believe. But they've basically been living in a dirty tank for 2 months, so it's not really very good. It's kind of dirty right now, it's not showing up on camera. Although she's like filled it up with new sawdust, she didn't scrub it or anything. So I'm basically going to do these today because the walls of the tank are just disgusting, and they're in like really bad condition right now. So I've been really worried and upset about them. So I just decided to bring them back with me and then just see what's going to happen. They've also gone like really timid, which is quite upsetting because she's not handled them as much as she said she was. So they've gone really timid now and they hardly ever come out, but they are still settling in, so that's understandable. And then over here are, you can see how kind of gross the tank is, but you can't really see like the extent of it. Over here is Pluto and Mickey, and kind of an update on them is that the other day I thought that Pluto was ill. When I first got them back, he was like seemed to be struggling to get his breath, and that's like this first sign that my other gerbils had when they had a respiratory infection. So I kind of like got really angry, and like I texted her and said, one of my gerbils is ill because you didn't clean the tanks out, and like I don't think he's going to make it very long. But since like 2 days have passed, he seems to be going more back to normal, so I don't know whether it was just like the stress of moving him, or I don't know, or he got cold. I really don't know. So anyway, I'm going to clean both the tanks out and make it all nice for them, because it's kind of dirty and gross, so that's why all the stuff's out just for overnight. And then I'll show you again when they're in a nice clean tank, see if he's doing any better. And sorry about my messy room that you might have just got like a flash of, but I'm going to come over here and just film these while I tell you. I've really had like a really bad week, to be honest, like animal wise, like with my pets, because of one of the things was Pluto maybe being ill, and the other thing is like a really sad bit of news that I have. Some of you might know from like my past videos, I announced that I was getting a puppy. We actually went and picked her up on Saturday, and but after 4 days she's actually gone back to the breeder. She was a Jackapoo, so she was Jack Russell half miniature poodle, and it's actually like really difficult for me to talk about right now because she was just almost 8 weeks old and she was just more than we could handle. Like, I still live at home with my parents and my sister, but no one could really cope with her. The only person that was willing to, you know, get up early and stuff with her was me, and I have a job, so I can't always be here with her. So yeah, she went back, and it was a decision that we all made together as a family, and we realised that a puppy was not the right thing for us, and that we would have been better off with like a lazier dog, like an older dog. So everyone was like really stressed, and you know, everyone's really missing her, even though like we may have bonded with her. Like, she was too young and she wasn't here long enough to bond with us either. So I guess that's the only good thing. She's gone back to the breeder and we got all of our money back for her, which wasn't like the most important thing, but they were really, really good and really, really understanding, and they just said like, these things happen. You know, she was just like a normal puppy. I wouldn't say she was like more work than a normal puppy. Like, it wasn't for us. So I'm really, really sad about that, and I don't really want to talk about it too much right now because it still is like really, really raw. And I also have some video footage of her and some photos, but I don't really want to post them at the moment because it's really difficult still, because I was absolutely devastated because I didn't want to keep her. So maybe I'll put the videos up at another point because she was really cute, but I just don't want to like watch them at the moment. My little tunnel down here. Yeah, so basically it was just an update on these gerbils and obviously on the dog. But basically I'm just trying to concentrate on these gerbils now that I rescued the other day. So it kind of made me feel a little bit better that I had like my old pets back. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be keeping them yet, but I know I'm going to keep them for a while because you couldn't see because they were in their bed, but they've actually got a lot smaller. Like, I don't think they've been fed properly, and I just feel so guilty for this because I feel like I gave them to a bad home, like thinking it was a good home, and they've kind of not been very well looked after. So I want to just spend like a bit of time with them, like fattening them up again, you know, making them feel better. So today I'm going to clean out both tanks, and I'm just going to do a little update on Merlin as well for you. Okay, so here's Merlin. I've just come down and he's already awake as usual, so he's making a huge racket. So he's obviously asking for his breakfast. Hello. So before I get started on telling you what's happened with Merlin, it's not really very much, but I thought I'd just mention, because I completely forgot to, because it's been a while since I last made a video, that Thumbelina has now gone to her new home with her little friend. I think she was renamed Angelina. So they've now gone. They went in their gerbilarium, but I actually think the woman that's got them now has put them into like a bird cage kind of thing. So it sounds really, really good, and they seem to really like it, she said. So this woman actually ran a small animal rescue, so if I decide not to keep the 4 boys that have just come back to me, I think I'm going to get in touch with her and just see if she wants to take them, but I'm not sure if I'm keeping them yet. So with Merlin, the reason that he has an orange face is because he had carrot last night, so he has carrot face right now. So he probably needs a bath to get that off, but that's the reason why. Yeah, Merlin, I decided to take him to the vet about a week ago because his nails were getting like ridiculously long, and they just don't really get worn down on anything that's in his cage because he doesn't have like sandpaper perches or anything. He has like this manicure perch, but he doesn't go on it like very much, so his nails are getting so long, and he's not hand tame enough for me to hold him and clip them myself. I was going to attempt it, but then I thought I don't want to have to grab him be distressed and then not trust me, so I'd rather that someone else, like a vet, grabbed him and then he wouldn't trust them instead. Hello, you saying tickle tickle? So anyway, yeah, I took him to get his nails clipped because I thought I'd rather get it done properly. Then when I said that he wasn't very hand tame, he didn't like being touched, the vet took him away from me. He took him like downstairs to another part, and he said that a vet nurse was going to hold him instead while he clipped the nails. They were absolutely ages, and I was getting so anxious. I thought that he'd like, because he pre-warned me and he said if he gets too stressed, like he could go into shock and things like this. So I was getting really worried and thinking that he'd got so stressed out that, I don't know, he'd like died or something. Like really, really stupid things I was thinking. So, because they were ages. Then he came back up. Merlin, trying to speak. Then he came back up and, you know, he was fine. And he said, oh, I've caught, there was one problem, like I've caught all the quicks because he had really long quicks in his nails. And I was like, what the hell? Because even I could see where the quicks ended. And he said, oh yeah, they've bled. Merlin! Stop it! He said, yeah, they've bled quite a bit and there's a bit of blood at the bottom of his cage, and they were bleeding quite a lot, but they obviously clotted after a while. So I was just like really shocked and kind of disappointed that they caught basically all of the quicks and in like all of his nails. And I kind of thought like next time I might just do it myself. But now they're completely healed up, and they're still kind of a bit long because he had really long quicks. They couldn't take them that much shorter, but they're so much better than what they were. Yeah, so that's like the only update on him. But he recovered straight away. He was like playing in his cage, weren't you? Were you playing? The only other thing is that his cere has gone kind of like crusty again. And they just told me it was from him molting, because he's kind of in another molt again. If you can see his face. Merlin! Where's it gone? He's kind of got some feathers that are coming through right now, just at the top of his head. So that's basically his cere has gone kind of crusty again from the molt. A lot of people have been commenting saying that they think he's a female budgie. I don't think that he is. I did actually ask the vet the last time I went before, and he said that he thinks he is male. Oh, we got some talking then. So his talking's come along really, really well, actually. He says quite a few words now, and he does it in front of me where he never used to. And he's also picked up a lot of the bird calls and noises from outside, because he's right next to the window. So he does hear quite a lot of bird calls, so he picks them up. And he speaks in my mum's voice, which is really cute. You're very loud though. So he has like the same cage set up basically. I just moved the hammock, but he doesn't really go in it very much. Oh, and that's the perch that I got from my trade, which he really likes. Oh, and he has another wooden ledge. That's about it. There's not that many changes. Whoops, I nearly dropped my iPad, sorry. You saying hello? Oh dear. Need to change that paper, it's a little bit gross. So that's the update on Merlin. What are you eating? God knows what he's got in his mouth. It doesn't look like it was seed. I love you. Where are you? Say kiss, 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 kiss. So that's Merlin for you. That's basically the end of my updates today. So I think I will just go change the gerbils, like clean out the gerbils tanks, and when they're done I'll just show you. Because I'll probably come out for treats and things. Oh! Tickle, tickle. Merlin. You're such a good boy, such a good talker. So thanks for watching. And here are the gerbil tanks, all cleaned out and much better. So I think they're all feeling much happier as well. because they have their old scent back and a nice tidy clean cage. Just added in some hay, so to keep them a bit warmer in their nest. Loads and loads of bedding. That's a Wilkinson's fruit seed and nut bar, I think it's called. And it has a few kiwi sticks in here. Their bridge was broken, both of them, so I've had to throw them out because the metal that holds like the bits of wood together for the Pets at Home bridge was like sticking out, so it was kind of dangerous. And then they have like some little treats like scattered down here. And they just have their Jerry gerbil feed. So they seem a lot happier now and coming out a bit more. Seeing as they have like some little enrichment things to do now, which I don't think they had before. And then these guys over here have just settled down in their bed. And I don't know what that is. Oh, that's like, they've made a big mess up here already made it their toilet. That's like a bit of food up there. So you have exactly the same thing. Yeah. So they all seem a lot happier now. I feel a lot better. And that they're in completely clean tanks. And these guys, they're not due to be cleaned out just yet. So I'm just going to like spot clean the tank and then tidy up. Thanks for watching. Bye.